We can finally stop talking about your goddamn White Sox for a second and talk
What?
about
What?
the best team in baseball still, my Detroit
What?
Tigers. Like 2 or 3
What?
weeks running, they still have the best record in baseball.
Dang.
They had a tough night last night in St. Louis. St.
Yeah, they
Louis
did.
of all fucking places, but they had a winning weekend in Toronto, winning 2 out of 3 there. Tight series, actually. It was a really good series, a pretty evenly matched. Toronto's better than I realized. Tigers prevailed. Torkelson had a big weekend. He actually accounted for all 3 RBI on Sunday. They had a home run on Saturday. So I was going to say Torque owns Toronto, or Torcanto, they now call it. But the big news out of that series, at least, was Reese Olson pitched a gem. Was it Friday or Saturday? I can't remember. But he left the game after 6 innings, which didn't seem unusual. But apparently, he had like a cramp in his ring finger that has now led him to the IL for 15 days. Right now, they're saying he's probably just going to miss 2 starts. They're not too concerned about it, but you never know. I don't like that. But what I do like is all the other injury news for the Tigers, which really hit them hard at the beginning of spring training, and they're just now getting back from. As tonight, Jake Rogers is returning from an oblique issue. He will be behind the plate tonight for a Turk Skubal start in St. Louis. So that's really good news. We've got Parker Meadows news. He's coming back for a rehab start in Toledo starting tonight. He'd be eligible to come off the 60-day IL on, I believe, Saturday, if that's the 24th. So that would give him almost a week of rehab starts, potentially be up with the Tigers this weekend, which would be huge news.
Huge.
Casey Mize has been on the IL, but he threw a simulated game at Comerica Park yesterday, 5 innings, and looked well. So I believe he might be back this weekend as well, which would be huge with Olson headed to the IL. He pitched actually to Rogers, Parker Meadows, Wentzel Perez, and Matt Vierling, and Jake Rogers, I think I said, in that simulated game. So those guys are all on their way back. I believe Matt Vierling is starting a rehab assignment, or has started a rehab assignment in Toledo, and could be back next week. Wentzel Perez is like our 3rd string center fielder, kind of a utility outfielder. He's on his way back as well. So lots of good news, lots of health on the horizon, despite the loss of Reese Olson, which is just kind of a bummer. And then going into last night's game showed that they had to, they had an opener and then had Cadell Montero pitch, kind of the old recipe for pitching chaos that worked so well last season. Did not work at all last night as they went down. They're getting blown out 5-0 at one point. Then there was a rain delay, which was just annoying. I flipped over to the Cubs game during that, and then I looked up and saw they'd come back from the rain delay and got blown out even more. It was 11-0 at one point. I think the game ended up 11-4. So kind of a bummer of a night. Oh yeah, I flipped over to the Cubs game in time for them to blow the save against the Marlins.
Oh, yeah, that was a weird game. I was watching it.
That was another annoying. So I was kind of pissed at baseball last night, and then heard that Reese Olson got hurt. But the injury news overall is very good for the Tigers, so I feel much better. Felt good going into this podcast today.
Word Hole Media.